Hey, thanks for tuning in to the Collective Mindset podcast or video vlog. I don't know what you call these things, but just a couple of dudes gathered together here to discuss some things, hold ourselves accountable, and share ideas that we've come across that have been extremely impactful and helpful for us as we go on this journey of creating this mortgage company and expanding our understanding and horizons and beliefs. And it's a pretty exciting time.
I love it. I'm excited, grateful for you guys to be viewing and joining the journey. So Jordan was telling me about was it a podcast you were listening to or a
vlog?
A vlog. And I'm going to let him kind of explain it because he watched it, but had some pretty cool things. I keep finding, Jordan and I have gone kind of deep into this, setting your intentions and then going out in the world and trying to make those things happen. So we have, some daily intentions that we read. We have set those as a vision, a dream, whatever you want to call it, for what we want to go out and create. And so as we've done that, or since we've done that, man, the word intention keeps popping up everywhere. Like every time I see that word, if it's in a book or it's on a written article, whatever it is, I'm like, yes, it means something different to me now. And it gives new meaning to all of these things. So I love that he brought something in today, and I'll let him tell you that's right up that alley. So
yeah, I want to. The funny thing is that as you say that, so like if any of you guys have been like shopping for a new car, right? You decide you get obsessed about a car and you start thinking about it all the time. And next thing you know, you kind of start seeing that car around and you're noticing, and it's manifesting itself through that. And
there's a name for that.
Yeah, well,
for that phenomenon, I can't remember what it is, but
it's real life, you guys. Like, you can manifest things into your life, and as you manifest or think about good things, things that are going to bring, your dreams to reality. Why not manifest your dreams in that way, or with that kind of intention behind it? And I was listening to a vlog today by Ed Milet. I don't know if you guys know Ed, but he's actually pretty awesome. And he just said a couple of things that were really profound to me. But one of the things he was talking about, like, visualizing things and manifesting things. And I wanted to go back to that, like that car analogy. But a lot of people think like, oh, that's weird, I don't know how to do it. But they think about it. A lot of people stress and they worry and they play out all these like what if scenarios in their mind, right? But typically it's like a negative what if, right? Yeah. Like, oh, well, what if this happens, or what if whatever? And you think about it and people imagine all these things, but how many people actually do the what ifs on the positive side? Like, well, what if we can do this? Well, what if we have this vacation in the summer in Hawaii for 2 weeks? Or what if we're able to build a cabin? Or what if we're able to have a ranch or live this life of our dreams? And then you visualize it and you imagine it and you start to manifest that into your life. And that's really powerful. So, but what I wanted to talk about today was this idea of intention, and Gavin touched on it a little bit. And so we did. I mean, we'll share this as we go through our podcast, but a number of months ago, I can't remember exactly where I got the idea. I mean, it was, a accumulation. I don't know.
A culmination?
Culmination of a lot of things, but just thought I should write down my intentions and recite them every single day. And so I came up with 6 intentions that I had. And every day when I get to the office, I vocally say out loud my intentions. And I've had some pretty impactful experiences by doing that. Some days it's very, ho-hum. It's just something I do. But there has been a few days where it's been very impactful for me. But the idea came with this Ed Milet thing today, as he was talking about kind of our intentionality and things like that. And he was talking about if we suffer from like imposter syndrome. So, and I really kind of thought about that. And I started marinating. I mean, like Gavin, do you think like you're a perfect guy, or are you the most successful loan officer out there?
Yeah, no.
No,
of course not.
Yeah, I mean, we have flaws, we have challenges. People might be looking like, oh, who are these two guys? And like, what makes them think they're special that they should have a podcast? Like, and I get that. And I mean, like, are Gavin and I successful in the mortgage industry? I'd say yes, we are. We were both top 1% in the mortgage industry, like producers for a few years running. Gavin kind of still is. I'm falling from that right now because of the market's down, and I won't go into other stuff. But it's sometimes you kind of get in your own head, like, am I an imposter? Like, am I up here saying things that are not true? And it was really interesting what Ed Milet said. And Ed Milet had this. It was actually Wayne Dyer who told him this as he was talking about it. And he said, never link your confidence to your abilities. He told him that it is what your intentions are. And if your intentions are pure and your intentions are good and you intend to do greatness, then it's your intention that qualifies you for what you're trying to do and accomplish. And I thought, man, that is powerful. Yeah. Because sometimes we think in this world that, I cannot do X, Y, Z, whatever that is, unless I am this. And you don't get to be this typically unless you have an intention behind it to get there.
Yeah.
And I just think that idea that my abilities don't limit me. It's through it, and they don't qualify me. What qualifies me is my intention and my desire to do good and to hopefully instill. I want to be great. I want to create greatness, and I want to share that greatness and hopefully instill that desire in other people.
Cool. I love that. When you were telling me, what he shared, I butted heads with it for just a second, right? Because I was talking to my wife about this, and I think maybe Alex Hormozy mentioned that confidence is almost, it's an accumulation of evidence, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you're confident that you can make a free throw because you've shot however many free throws and you've made them consistently, mm-hmm. right? And yes, you miss some from time to time, but like, you gain confidence in your ability, like as you experience success. And so, that butted heads a little bit with this idea, right? Where it's like, you can't just have some intention that's crazy and outlandish that's just wildly beyond anything you could really accomplish. But at the same time, you almost can, right? Mm-hmm. You have to dream big. And although the evidence is that you're going to gather along your path to achieving that, it's all those baby steps that take you there. And sometimes you got to break it down. But if you don't have that pie in the sky dream that you're working towards, I don't know that you find the same motivation, right? To go up, to get up every day and bust your butt to make stuff happen.
Yeah.
I think, we're mentioning a lot of people here, right? Grant Cardone says, like, your dreams aren't big enough. Your goals aren't big enough. You're failing your goals because they're not big enough. And so, I'm kind of tying that into the intentions that they should be big. They should be things that maybe you're not quite capable of yet. Mm-hmm. But like you said, just because you're not capable quite yet doesn't mean you shouldn't have confidence in yourself to get there, right? Mm-hmm. Like, don't tie your confidence to your current capability, your current ability is probably what you said.
Right.
But those intentions force you to grow. It highlights exactly what you're missing, and you got to go to work to try and bridge the gap. Yeah. To be able to make those things happen. So.
Well, I love that, and to tie that in, like, so Gavin and I are both religious guys, and we'll share more about our faith and belief throughout this podcast. But Ed Milet's also a religious guy, and he was talking about, he says there's three things, he calls it his trilogy, or like the three pillars to who he is, I guess. Mm-hmm. And he said it's faith, it's intention, and it's execution. And faith is because he knows, and I love it because it's like, oh man, that should be my mantra. It's like faith, I know that I am a son of God. I know that I have divinity within me. I know that I have purpose and potential and promise, and there's so much that the Lord has intended for me to do and to accomplish, and I know that and I believe that. So there's where my faith comes in. And then my intentionality is my intention to go out and to do good. Is my intention to grow and build this company? Is my intention to live a healthier lifestyle? Is my intention to live a life with more love and purpose and charity? Yes, it is. Okay. And then the third thing is the ability to execute. Like, do I have am I blessed with the right mental state and, you know, energy levels, et cetera, to go out and understanding of, say, this mortgage business and life in general, to go out and execute on my intentions? And the answer is yes. I'm not the best executor in the world, but am I able to go out and execute on this plan? Do I have belief in myself, and do I have intention and purpose? And then do I have the ability to execute? And the answer to all three of those things for me is a resounding yes. And so going back to maybe what we talked about last time is, well, why not? Why not me?
Yeah.
Right? And that comes into a lot of what you're saying, like, well, why shouldn't I try to be the very, very best version of myself knowing those three things? And so that's what we intend to do, is go out there and execute on this, and it's going to be on display for everybody to watch, I guess, to a certain degree. And hopefully as we do it and we talk to you guys about these things, that maybe it'll inspire you to say, hey, I'm going to set some intentions for my life.
I love it.
And execute.
And execute. Well, and it boils down to, maybe to put some religion into this, or faith, right? I really, as you were speaking about that, right? Our faith is an important part of who we are. We are religious, and I think that, a lot of times, tying this into imposter syndrome, right? And we are comparing ourselves pretty constantly to other people, and most people are, in some form or fashion, right? And I think that's where imposter syndrome comes from. And it's basically, I don't stack up to this guy, or that guy's got more of this than I have, or, this person's killing it more than I am right now, or whatever it may be. And so, if you don't have the right mindset, you're going to shrink, and you're going to put yourself on a lower tier or a lower pedestal. And I think kind of what we're talking about here is that with your intentions, you don't allow yourself to do that. I'm going to put some big intentions that are above what these other people are, not because I'm trying to beat them, but because I am capable and because I can. And to bring that back to the religious thing, like, I think oftentimes we think we have to be perfect, right? Or maybe we're commanded to be perfect in some sense, right? That we need to do the right thing, say the right thing, act in the right way, don't do these certain things, and if we fail at any of that, we're a failure. And man, I argue the opposite, right? Like, if our heart is in doing the right thing and our intentions are there, and then you bring in that execution where we're proving time and time again, we're gathering evidences that we do the right thing, that we are making the right choices, that we are being kind and showing love. Like, all of these things boil down to a person that is capable of growth and change and bettering yourself and building a bigger life. And I think as people focus on the fact that, yeah, you're not perfect today, you're not as big and awesome as that guy today. Mm-hmm. But it's like, if you got the right mindset, like, there is no stopping you. You're the only one that's going to stop you. Mm-hmm. So all of that coming together, I don't know where you sum that up, but as far as imposter syndrome goes and where this faith, intention, execution kind of lands into that, I think it's all inside of you and what you're willing to do to have a better life.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited to kind of lay out our intentions for everybody, at least some of them. Obviously, some are personal, right? But I think we'll get intentional on our purpose as far as what we're going to do with this mortgage company, what are the goals, and the other businesses that we're going to start and we're going to do.
Yep.
So that's a huge part of it, but make no mistake, the plan and what we're trying to develop here is to be as well-rounded as a person as possible. This isn't going to be some podcast that's only all about business and, hey, we just want to crush it and be crazy or whatever. We want that work-life balance. We value our home life so much and our families and the importance of family.
Yeah.
So at no point in our business or what we're trying to do we want to have our family life suffer. In fact, just the opposite. We want our family life to thrive, and we want to create systems that allow us to be high-functioning business people, but also successful husbands and fathers at home that are leading our family and instilling with them a desire to succeed in life as well. So I think those are my nuggets for today. But
I love it.
yeah, we're excited.
I think if you're kind of following along, if you listen to the last podcast, right? It's Jordan and I kind of pontificating a little bit back and forth, kind of talking about our experiences and maybe our mindsets that have led us to this choice, right? This thought that came to us to create something new. My hope for the podcast, right, is maybe a little more interaction where we can break down some of the things we're doing, that we can bring to you guys maybe some of the changes we're trying to implement, and through that create a little bit of accountability and maybe a little bit of camaraderie with those that want to follow along or maybe join in. I've proven otherwise, but I don't necessarily enjoy getting on anything really and just spouting off what I think. I don't really know that I think a lot of people care, but I think it's just worthwhile for us to set the table, kind of put our mindset out so you guys can understand that. But then I want to get to work, and I want to bring some practicality to it and show people what we're going to do and try and include people in that and make those that are watching a part of it. So I'm excited for it. I think we've got a lot of cool things coming, and hopefully you guys will follow along and join us on the journey, or at least support us in that. That's anything you guys want to do to support us, we're going to love that too. So appreciate you all for watching. Jordan?
Yeah, thanks for joining the collective mindset. Let's do it together.
Okay.
Let's go.
Thanks.